What's up guys, welcome back, it's RJ. Today, we're gonna be taking a look at something a little bit different, a little bit of a throwback, and then I'm gonna take you guys along on my first little cleanup, restoration, whatever you wanna call it, of these OG Ultra Boost. All right, so before we get started, for those of you who don't know, when the Ultra Boost first came out, this was the colorway it came in. Solid black uppers, purple heel cups, gold lace tips, squeaky outsoles, typical torsion system, same performance tongue tags, Ultra Boost branded heel cup, black and silver, TPU cage, Ultra Boost branded insoles, removable as always. Other than that, nothing different than when we take a look at a typical Ultra Boost, other than the fact that these arrived with just a little bit of a flaw, but we're gonna take care of it today. As you can see, right there on the back of the shoe, somebody decided to take an ink pen right to the Boost. Now what it says is W8.5, which is obviously a women's 8.5. I got these from my wife, but the reason for the marking is a lot of performance running shoe stores will actually take a pair of shoes when they come in and they use them as demo shoes. So obviously they put these up on a rack, they say 8.5 on the back, easy access. Someone comes in that wears an 8.5, here you go, try them on, give them back when you're done, that's it. But when Adidas was done with the 1.0 production, obviously the store was done demoing the 1.0s as well. I was lucky enough to find these for a steal on eBay, negotiated a little bit of a price drop, and got these for 100 bucks. So now let's talk about what the plan is. I actually already started on this shoe just to see if it would work. I just did one small top coat of what we're gonna be using to cover up the ink. So let me share with you what the plan is, and then we'll dive right into it. So before I go any further, I wanna give a huge shout out to my boy Dallas Boostin on Instagram. Follow him if you haven't already, Dallas_Boostin. That dude turned me on to this method, and therefore I gotta give a shout out to him. A lot of people don't give him credit for this, and I'm sure you've seen this a million times. Nonetheless, credit goes to him, shout out to him, go follow him right now if you haven't already. And then if you haven't already, follow me as well at RJTV. Little bit of a shameless plug. Anyway, everybody's heard of Sharpie brand markers. These are oil-based paint pens. This white paint pen actually matches the Boost almost perfectly. So we're gonna use this to cover up this and hopefully get these looking brand new. So without further ado, let's get into it. So we'll start by finishing up this shoe right here, then we'll move on to the next one. When you're working with any sort of paint, whether it be spray paint or whatever it is, you wanna go slow, do a nice little soft layer first to start off with, let that dry, then you'll continue on with the coats until everything's dry. Don't just glob on a bunch of paint and then let it dry because it just won't look right. What I also like to do while I'm doing this is kind of compress the Boost in there. Just give it a little bit of a push right around where you're working with, just so that paint settles into all the cracks and crevices. Boost is a very porous material, so it will absorb anything. As you can see, the ink is absorbed very well. It's definitely gonna take a few coats to get rid of all of this, but if you're patient and you work with the materials, it'll definitely work out in the long run. Just keep going back and forth between the shoes, putting coats on, working that material, making sure the paint sets in. We'll hit these again afterwards with a little bit of Crep Protect or Jason Mark, something along those lines, just to get them looking a little bit better. All right, so we're gonna let the first few coats dry up completely. Let the shoes sit for probably about an hour. I'm gonna run over all the Boost and clean it with some Crep this afternoon. Let that dry for another hour. Like I said, Boost is very porous, so it'll hold the moisture from the water and from the paint for a very long time. So painting over the water isn't something that you wanna do. And before we clean them, take the laces out, take the insoles out, and get them all prepped. All right, we're back. Shoes have been cleaned, enough time to dry. That's what the spots look like after they've been cleaned up. So obviously the paint stays on there even if you clean the shoe. I use Crep Protect with the Crep Protect brush, which is a fine bristle brush. Make sure you always use fine bristle brushes on the prime knit, otherwise it'll fray. But that's another story for another time. So let's finish these up. And here they are, the finished product. After being cleaned with some Crep Protect, went ahead and finished covering up the ink stains that were on there previously that I showed you guys. And in the end, my wife's got a brand new pair of Ultra Boost. These would pass pretty close to dead stock after being cleaned up. You saw me lint roll the insoles just to get the leftover crap off of those. And honestly, other than a little bit of dirt right there on the outsole that I didn't even bother touching up, these things look pretty damn close to dead stock. And for $100 for the shoes, $6 for a Sharpie marker, definitely a steal for the OG colorway. The only other thing I would recommend doing is probably getting the thicker version of that Sharpie marker and doing the entire boost, because when you do look up close right here, you can see a difference in the boost that wasn't touched up versus the boost that was. Even if I show this up close on camera, you're not even gonna be able to really see it right there. The marker does blend in with the original boost color very well. And boost typically has kind of a sheen or a little bit of a shine to it. The marker has the same exact thing, so they definitely blend very well. I'd recommend it to anybody looking to clean up the boost. If you've got yellowing, if you find yourself in the same position as me where somebody wrote on your boost, whatever the case may be, the oil-based Sharpie pens definitely help out. I also picked up a black one because I do have the Haven Ultra Boost right there. They haven't started cracking. I've only worn them a handful of times, but if they ever do, this will definitely come in handy for those. And I'll go ahead and leave you guys with some B-roll up close footage of these shoes. As always, thanks so much for watching. Hope you guys enjoyed this. Just wanted to change things up, add something new to the channel. Hopefully in the future, I can continue bringing you guys new things that are a little bit more exciting than just a typical shoe review. Obviously, if you enjoy the reviews, they're not going anywhere. But as always, thank you so much to each and every one of you for watching the video. If you haven't already, hit that subscribe button. If you have a Twitter and an Instagram, go follow me on there as well, RJTV. And guys and girls, that's the OG 1.0 Ultra Boost. Cleaned up the ink stains right there on the heel, and that's gonna do it. Peace out.